This is Bill Butts with JCAV TV, and today we bring in the man at the helm of Johnson County Community College. Today we bring in Dr. Terry Calaway. And welcome to JCAV TV. I'm Bill Butts, bringing you today. We have Dr. and President Terry Calaway with us today here in studio. So, to start this whole thing off, we have some questions for you, Doctor. Now, when you were a student in college, what did you ever dream of becoming?
Well, Bill, first let me thank you for inviting me today. It's an honor to be here with you. My first kind of career goal when I first started going to school was I was thinking about starting my own business. I had worked in a bakery, and I thought about being someone who owned their own business, working for myself. And as I started going through classes and seeing the impact teachers have on students, my career goal changed, and thought about a career in education, and started pursuing that career goal with looking towards a degree in health, phys ed, and recreation instead. I'd been a student athlete, and just kind of thought that might be something I'd want to do. And while my career path has kind of taken me to a different part of higher education, I've enjoyed every day at work. Always enjoyed coming to work and working with students, and it really came as a result of the impact a lot of teachers had on my life.
Well played, well played. Well, after you had such success from Central Arizona, what did you believe that you would bring that was different from your previous experience as president?
Well, my career at Central Arizona was really a fun time of my life. Loved living in Arizona and loved having the opportunity to first serve as an academic officer there and then president. I thought what I would bring to the table here at Johnson County was maybe a stabilizing influence. Okay. Having been a president of an institution that was in some trouble at the time, both financially as well as kind of just from a cultural perspective, the institution was kind of struggling internally. The president had left under less than positive circumstances. I think the thing that I felt that I could bring was that stabilizing force of having been through a transition that was less than positive. And our institution had gone through some challenging times. And I think also having that experience as an academic officer, as well as being a president, really helped me kind of help work with the faculty. And I thought I could bring some things to the table that would help the institution move to a positive place. And hopefully, now as I'm looking at retiring in the next couple of months, folks will say that I'm leaving the institution in a place better than where I found it. I think one of the things we've been able to do is to kind of bring that stabilizing factor to the institution. So I feel good about that.
Absolutely, as you should, as you should. Now, you've been here for 6 years in leadership here at Johnson County Community College. Right. So tell me, what are you most proud of?
Well, I would say first and foremost, I'm the most proud of our students. When I look at the things that happen here at our college and the success that our students have while they're here, but then also after they leave, it says a lot about the work that our students are doing, and I think, quite frankly, the work that's happening in our classrooms as well. I think maybe the thing that I've brought to the table around that then is an ability to refocus the institution around students and around student success. Okay. When I came here, our college was really focused on the beauty of our buildings and the ways that people perceived us from the outside as they drove by. And one of the things that I think is very, very true about colleges and universities and higher education institutions as a whole is that our colleges are really just bricks and mortar until you put people in them. Colleges are really about the people that are inside, students, faculty, staff, others who make it a better place. And part of what I've really wanted to do is to refocus our institution around students. And I think we've gotten there. I don't think, not that we don't appreciate the beauty of our campus and the condition of the facilities we have here, but more so I think what we really have been focused on the last 5-6 years, and I've really tried to push is, after all said and done, students are the heart and soul of our institution, and I think that that's made us a better place. And I'm really proud of that. And so, after all said and done, if someone asks me what I'm the proudest of, it's our students. I love graduation. I love the days where you have the opportunity to shake a student's hand and congratulate them as you hand them their diploma. And that's really what, in my opinion, what a college should be about.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, let's face it, we all have, what you're most proud of, but let's face it, everybody wants a redo. So if you could come back, what would you do different?
Boy, that's a great question. I think the thing that, when I came to our institution, everyone said to me, boy, you're going to the most financially stable institution in the country. Those guys at Johnson County have money to do about anything you want to do. And I was here about 6 months, and we ended up in the worst economic climate our country's faced, and in many ways, the most depressed economy of our generation, and maybe of the century. If I could do a major redo, it would be, let's throw out that bad economy and all the challenges that came with it. We went through a process of downsizing or re-engineering our institution. In some ways, I think we're better for it.
Yeah.
But it sure was a difficult time, and to get through and to keep people at the forefront of what we're about. We came through that time frame, and we didn't. While we had to do some reductions in force and non-replacement of positions, we never reduced a faculty position here.
Nice.
And so I would say it would be great to redo the economy as a whole. As far as maybe things that we've done here, it would, when I came, we had talked about some additional things we wanted to look at, some new programs and services, but because of, some of the financial conditions, we've kind of scaled back some things, and we've not been able to grow programs maybe as quickly as I would have liked to. But some of that, I think, had to do with the economy too. So, it'd be great to have a redo on the economy and all the impacts of it. But I think we've come through fine. I think
Absolutely.
We're stronger as an institution for it. In the middle of the worst economy, we also had a major enrollment increase. And so we've seen, a lot of changes in the demographics and the dynamics of our institution. And I think, all in all, I try not to look back. I try and look forward and say, how can we take whatever it was that we did and make it better next, for tomorrow. But I think, if we could redo the economy, that would have been nice. And also, I think just, have a better picture of where we might be, another 5 or 6 years. I think the economy's turning around now, and we're going to be strong for it. But it sure was a challenging 3 or 4 years.
You've done so much, but I have a question for you, Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Behind every great man, there's a great and supportive woman. So what can you tell us about Mrs. Calaway?
Well, when I was interviewed here for the job, if you go back to the videos, I think you'll find that this is absolutely true.
Okay.
One of our faculty members, one of our board members said to me, Terry, tell us about your wife. Tell us about Marlene. And my response at the time was, if Marlene had applied for the job, you would hire her as the next president of the college, because she's so dynamic, and she's just a wonderful, wonderfully bright and articulate person. And so I guess, telling you about Marlene, A, if she would have applied, she would have gotten the job, not me. B, she just is wonderfully bright and articulate. I have a dear friend who said to me once, the mark of a good man is in his ability to overmarry. And I've probably outpaced just about everyone I know in that regard. Marlene loves living here in Johnson County. We've been a great team for 33 plus years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. She is just, she's the light of my life. And we just enjoy kind of going through life together. And we've had, we've certainly had our ups and downs, as life kind of brings you things. But it's been a great time. She enjoys reading. She's very involved here in Johnson County in volunteer activities. She's been involved with Safe Home, on the board of Safe Home, the domestic violence shelter here in Johnson County. She's been involved as a CASA volunteer, court-appointed special advocate for children through the Johnson County courts. And in that role, she's kind of served as a representative for a child whose family's at risk. And so she represents the child in court, and she's been very involved in that. And she's also very involved in the Foundation for St. Luke's Medical Center.
Really?
Here in Johnson County at St. Luke South. And so she's been involved in a number of community activities. I don't know where she gets her energy, but she does just a million and one things, and I have trouble keeping up with her, but I know those of you who've had a chance to meet her know how special she is, and if you haven't, she's just a delight, and you'll have a great opportunity to see her over the next several weeks as we're kind of finishing things up. But she really is just a delight, and I've been very blessed to be with her for that many years.
That's awesome. It's really good to hear. Really good to hear. So, President Calaway, as you're retiring, what do you see Johnson County Community College really facing here in this upcoming future?
Well, I think the biggest challenge for our college is to not to get so caught up or too caught up in our own press releases. We do so many things well here, but I think the biggest challenge for organizations that are really outstanding is spending more time patting yourself on the back than staying at the forefront of what got you to be in the good place in the first place. And I've always been an advocate, or folks who know me say, I always say, if you're not working hard every day to get better, you're getting worse. And I think the challenge for our institution is to continue to stay focused on what's the most important thing, students, to stay focused on working harder every day to get better. I'm a true advocate of continuous improvement, and sometimes the greatest adversary of great is good. And if we find some place where we're good, we shouldn't settle for just being good. We should really strive to be the best that we could be as an institution, because our students, our taxpayers, our community deserve it. Our employers deserve it. And I guess the thing that I would say is, let's keep working hard every day, to be the best that we could be as an institution for our students. And I would say that's our biggest challenge. We can get past the money things, we can get past so many of the other things, but complacency to me is a real challenge for us to continue to get better every day. And I don't think that we're complacent, but I would hope that we never become that.
Well put, well put. Well, I have one more for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just one more. So when it comes up, what advice do you really have for the next generation that really wants to make a difference in their community?
I grew up in a generation that was really committed to public service. John Kennedy, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, John Kennedy talked about, and the generation I grew up in heard the huge value of being involved in public service. And whether that's in education or being involved in politics or being involved in your community as a volunteer, all of those things are really important when you really think about making a difference. You can make money and also be involved in public service, and I think one of the challenges that I would put out to your generation is never underestimate the power of your voice, never underestimate the power of your ability to accomplish things. And if you work hard and are focused, you could accomplish anything. And whether it's public service or whether it's development of a business, expansion of our economy, growing a great educational institution, whatever it might be, don't ever underestimate your ability to get it done and to make a difference and to be an impact. And going back to my early days, I would have never thought I could have been a college president. I mean, it wasn't on my radar screen. I was seriously thinking about being a baker, and then eventually, a phys ed teacher. And the key for me was being involved with students and having the opportunity to kind of grow bright minds. And so, here we are today, and 37 years later, things are, life is good. And I would just say the same to you and to your peers. Don't ever underestimate what you could accomplish. I mean, there are things that people will see in you that you don't see in yourself. And, just stay at it and work hard every day, and you'll change the world.
Awesome, awesome. Well, so what I have for today, we have ourselves first the home of Johnson County Community College, President and Dr. Terry Calaway. A man of many words, great inspiration, and of course, behind him, a wonderful wife. Dr. Terry Calaway, thank you for your time, and thank you for all you've done for Johnson County Community College, sir.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Well, reporting for JCAP TV, I'm Bill Butts.